What's up, everybody? It's that time of the day, that time of the week, that time of the month.
It is.
You're listening to The Good,
The Band,
The Ugly. I'm Big Papa.
And I'm Jeff.
I got to break the ice. Go fuck yourself.
Hey!
There you go. We broke the F-bomb.
3 seconds in,
That's
folks.
it. Well, I had to do it. Let me slide this fucking music on.
Yeah, do it.
See? Look at that. Almost sounded
Professional.
What's going on?
Not much.
Look at today. We've been counting this one down.
Yeah, we actually
finally.
have.
Yeah. I mean, it's
I'm
not every day that...
Super excited to talk to this gentleman.
I know. Finally we have a guitar player for you.
I know. Thank God.
Because it's been a whole pile of drummers.
A whole 2 months of drummers.
Well,
I'm done with you.
Well,
I'm done with them.
Now finally,
all they do is sit there and do nothing. All guitar players, they jump around, get stuck on shit.
You're a dick.
There you go, straight from the mouth of God.
And a boy.
There you go. So it's going to be a great show today. Yes. For those of you who've been waiting for it because of my friends and that friend of yours you have.
Yeah. The one.
Yeah. Well, your wife doesn't count.
Oh shit.
Have been waiting for this gentleman to be on, and so I'm not even going to just wait. Just from the band, The Guess Who.
Yes.
Mr. Michael Staertow. Bum, bum, bum.
Great.
Ta-da!
There he is.
Hey, what's happening?
What's up there, Mr. Soul Patch?
You know, the same thing, buddy. Same thing as you guys are doing. Up to no good.
That's
right. That's what I wanted to hear.
Looks like you've got
F-bombs, making it happen.
Looks like you got a garage sale going on behind you.
Yeah, I got a tag sale here, a couple of 2-3 things, not much.
Two tree.
See, he's sliding back into the New York thing.
He is.
That whole Nashville thing is or wherever he is.
Yeah.
Couple of 2-3, y'all.
2-3,
y'all.
God bless your heart.
That's right. Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
Yeah, go bless yourself.
Mean what you think it means.
So, Mike, thank you. Is it Mike or Michael? I mean, what do you want?
Whatever you want to call me, buddy. If you feel comfortable calling me Mike, I'll identify as Mike tonight.
All right, so Michael it is. All right. See how he did that? He did that Southern charm way.
He did.
Take your pronouns and stick them right up your ass.
And a baby.
If you want to say my name wrong, you can call me Mike. Whatever floats your boat, tough guy.
Call me Mike? Yeah, go fuck yourself.
There you go. All right.
All right, then.
All right, Mickey.
Hey, show's over. Thanks for being here.
Mickey Staertow. So
thank you for having me, by the way.
Thank you for being on.
Thanks for being here.
See, Jeff and I realize that, and some of our listeners don't. We've been trying to get this date locked down for a while, and so we have to give props out to Peter Maluden because Peter set us up on this one.
And Peter, if you're listening, happy birthday, bro.
Yes, happy birthday, Peter.
Birthday. He's what? He's like what? 12?
He's 32, I think. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's
that's
16,
it.
Maybe. I don't know. He's a young one though.
I sent out an email to him or a text message to him today. And I said, "Hey, Peter, happy birthday! Make sure to keep all the leftovers." Because a couple weeks ago, I'm down in Tampa and I'm visiting with Peter, and we go to lunch at this incredible restaurant, a Lebanese restaurant, and Peter's like, "No, I got it." I mean, the bill was huge. I got it. Mike, don't worry. I got it. I'm like, thank you. That's really cool of you. Here's your free T-shirt. And, nothing but the best for you.
Right.
These are not pre-shrunk.
No.
So he buys.
Was it a short sleeve? Is it a short sleeve or long sleeve shirt?
Short sleeve.
Short sleeve would make his short arms look bigger because, picking up the check, his arms never really go that far.
I'm
down.
telling you, his arms were stretched out that day. So we had a great lunch, and we're wrapping up, and there's a ton of food left over, and there's all kind of grape leaves and moussaka and all this other shit, and the food was excellent. The hummus everything's great, and
the hummus.
So I have to pick my daughter up at the airport that night because she's flying in, and my daughter gets in the car and she's like, "What's all this food back here?" And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" Oh fuck. I grabbed the to-go container like I'm just trained to do, and I took it with me. Right. And I text him. I'm like, dude, I can't believe I freaking did this and took the leftovers with me. And he's like, well, he figured you just wanted to feed your daughter. I'm like, I feel like the biggest dick going.
And that will be the last time that he ever takes you anywhere.
That's all right. I still have the leftovers. I'll just bring him and say, look, I'm buying dinner.
Right. Look at me. And you can have the leftovers.
Yeah.
Well played.
This tzatziki is a little moldy now, so it's blue cheese tzatziki. Yeah. So anyways, so Peter, happy birthday.
Yes.
Keep the leftovers. It's almost like forget the gun, grab the cannolis. Happy birthday, keep the leftovers.
Yep.
So there you go.
There it is.
So we thank you for doing this for us, and finally glad you could do it. You know,
My apologies for the scheduling snafus up and down.
No, dude, you finished shooting. Was it the video that you just released recently?
No, it was actually the last video for the record. So up until the release of this current one, we had 3 in the queue. So we're doing a video for every song on the album. So
nice.
we were finishing up the last one. So yeah, that and I'm glad that we postponed it because we were stuck in the desert like all day. We were out in Vegas shooting, and I would have never made it on time. I would have left you guys hanging, and I felt bad. So, but I really appreciate you accommodating me for this.
Oh, are you kidding me?
Our pleasure.
No, dude. I mean, first of all, your ties to upstate New York, and we haven't gotten there, but you know,
we will.
Michael's originally from the Rochester area, but he's played in bands all over. He's played here in Syracuse. He's played the Lost Horizon back when it had a pole.
It doesn't have a pole anymore?
No,
it's gone.
No, I think
it is now. It is now gone.
Yeah.
What's holding the ceiling up?
Dirt, grime, grease. I think some gaff tape.
Gaff tape.
Yeah.
Maybe a few spilled drinks.
Wow. And
lots
still
of DNA.
Lost Horizon's still around, huh?
Oh yeah. Still cranking out really the most up to date, heaviest music that they can put in there. So really some really heavy stuff is coming out of there. And if I don't know if you remember locally from Syracuse area, Brand New Sin. Brand New Sin's going to be playing there in December, and we've got oh boy, we just had
those guys.
Yeah, those
Fight
guys.
from Within.
Fight from Within. So we had to give them a shout out. Real heavy stuff.
Yeah.
I call it Cookie Monster rock.
Yeah.
You know, with that
whatever works, man.
Yep. And it's still packing the place. So we do pay we pay homage to Greg Italiano. His picture is hanging on the wall behind us.
Yep.
And you know, Greg was the original owner of the Lost Horizon and ran
right
it.
on.
And so, you know, here's to you, Greg.
Here's to you, bud.
But yeah, so you've got all kinds of great stuff. You know, give us a rundown. Who was the first bands you played with locally in Rochester? People might know.
I mean, I had a band in high school that was made up of guys on the baseball team. And as wild, we just started playing like talent shows, and we ended up getting this guy. We were rehearsing in the drummer's garage. Okay, till about October when it starts to get cold in Western New York. You know, it could be hit or miss. You know, you can have Indian summer until like now, or it can get really cold quick. You can have snow on Halloween, right?
Right.
Yeah.
So we had this guy tell us, you know, he had his own house, a little bit older than us. He said, you guys can practice in my basement. I'll be your manager. And we're like, we don't want a manager, but okay, we're going to keep practicing in your basement. We don't have to freeze our asses off anymore.
Right.
So it's funny because that guy now is like Lou Graham's right-hand man. He's like his tour manager and his personal assistant.
Oh, geez.
And so it's kind of weird how it all started back then. But he was our light guy. He kind of did lights for us and let us rehearse in his basement. And then we kind of, through him, we started playing in clubs. And he got us like, you know, underage, you know, drinking age was 18 at the time.
Yep.
And we were 15, 16 and had to get permits from the liquor authority. We had to write a letter to Buffalo, somebody, right. So and he kind of helped facilitate that and got us in clubs. And then it just kind of all snowballed from there. You know, and that band was called Matrix, and it's kind of crazy. I mean, it really didn't mean anything back then compared to what it means now. But if you're into conspiracy and all that good stuff. But anyways, that was kind of like my first band playing in clubs, really not making that much money, but kind of getting the experience of, trying to hone your chops and get your sea legs, so to speak,
Yeah.
then I kind of worked my way up through different cover bands, just different, bands playing, top 40 bands, theme bands that played like 70s rock, 80s rock. Cause this is like 1981, 82, 83. So this is like literally the 80s before bands like, Quiet Riot and Motley Crue and, Rat, those guys were just started to break. MTV was starting to be something. And so we were kind of cloning them, trying to play what we thought was cool. But what we used to do is we used to go out and see other cover bands, the guys who were older than us, the guys we looked up to. And we tried to emulate them and try to do what they were doing. And so one thing led to another. You get an opportunity to join another popular band. And, that all kind of led to me ending up joining a clone band back in the day that I mentioned earlier out of Utica, New York. It was an Alice Cooper tribute. They call them tributes now, but it was a clone band because everyone had to look the part. At least somebody, one or two guys in the band had to have a striking resemblance of that. So
right.
I ended up jumping on that little ride there and ended up, really, really getting a good education about rock and roll and the lifestyle. And so from there, it just kind of went on and on. I mean, there's so much. I mean, I don't know. I'm not trying to pat myself on the back, but I don't know if you have enough time, to hit it all, but I can highlight a little bit. But that's just kind of a little bit of a synopsis at the very beginning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Then you went on to what? You were teaching music for a while?
Yeah, I taught. I got off the road and I started a family. And I thought, well, the lifestyle is not conducive to being a parent and a husband.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
And at the time, and so I decided to start teaching. And I was teaching for a while, and I had a teacher that stopped teaching me and gave me a gig. He left the band he was playing in and recommended me to replace him. And then I started teaching at the same place he started teaching. And then one thing led to another, and I was teaching full time, and I had like 50 plus students a week, and it was really cool. And then I got a call from while I was teaching, thinking I was kind of done, retired. I kicked around playing in some cover bands in Rochester that just kept me, kept my feet in the ring, so to speak. But I really wasn't, full-time professional. But I ended up getting a call from Lou Gramm to join his touring band, and I spent several years with him. So after that, it was just kind of like, okay, I'm back. I didn't think I was back, but you get a call from a guy like him, you don't say no.
So right. He actually called you himself.
Yeah, he called during dinner time too, because it was funny. So the backstory with Lou is our families growing up. We grew up in the same town. We went to the same high school, different times, of course. He's older than me, and our families were friends. Everybody knew each other. It's like kind of the on the west side of Rochester is the Italian side of Rochester, so we're all cousins. Cousins, what do you want to call it?
Right.
And everybody knows everybody. And if you're not a cousin, you're a cousin anyway. It's a godfather. Uncle Paulie.
Big
cousin
Petey.
Vinny, all this stuff. It's kind of like one of those things. So, anyways. I had done some things with him prior to that, but very informal. Mm-hmm. Played with him in a corporate event for a benefit or something like that, play guitar, backed him up. So I think maybe he kind of took notice, and he always was kind of aware of me anyways, I found out later. But I had to, pay my dues, so to speak.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I was having dinner with my family, and my kids were little, and one of my pet peeves in life is when telemarketers call at dinner time.
Right.
And I would either let it go to voicemail or I would pick it up and give them a ration of shit, just start busting their balls bad. But this particular night, I saw the number come up and I didn't recognize the number, and I picked it up and I'm ready to go. Right, I'm ready to go at this telemarketer, and it was like, "Hey, Mike, it's Lou and Lou Gramm," and I'm like, "Holy shit!" Hey, Lou, what's going on? And
am I being punked?
Conversation evolved, and I'm having dinner. Son of a bitch.
What do you think you are?
Right. I know, you got a lot of balls, buddy. A lot of balls. Anyways, he invited me to. Actually, the phone call kind of went like, "Hey, the guitar player I got now has got some conflicts coming up, and I need somebody to fill in for like 3 or 4 dates." And I was like, "Cool, yeah, I'd totally love to do it. I'm totally your guy." And he was aware that I knew a lot of the material, anyways, because I'd played with him before, and a lot of the guys that were in his band at the time I had played with previously in different cover bands, different configurations,
right.
you know, separately, together, whatever. We all were coming up together. And so he invited me to come down to a studio like on Monday and just to kind of go over some of the material with the guys. He wanted to see what it sounded like. He wanted to see how things were going. And, you know, I'm in the mindset of I'm going in and I'm going to fill in, right? I'm not going in as a mercenary. I'm not trying to steal anybody's gig. I'm trying to help out. I'm trying to be a good guy here.
Right.
So I go down and we jam and it's funny because it was just the band. It was in a studio and it was just the band. He wasn't there yet. So we were playing and of course he walked in. We didn't know he was there yet. And he walked in the live room and said hi. And he said, I'm just going to go sit in the control room on the other side of the glass. I want to listen for a little bit. So, and I'm like, wow, you know, and again, keeping in mind that I've played with him before. But I was still nervous, you know, it's still because you're being, you know, he's listening and you want to do good, you know, he's kind of like a hero and he's not kind of like a hero. He was totally a hero, you know, growing up in the same town.
Right.
You know, 404. Anyways, I'm kind of babbling, but you can feel the enthusiasm and the excitement. I'm still giddy about it because it's an amazing opportunity. So he comes in and he says, I want to do a couple of these songs. He picked out a couple songs. I think it was Long Way From Home. This was the first time. He wanted to hear me sing, wanted to hear the playing. And so he went back in the control room where it was more control for him. And he was singing through a mic. And again, I'm under the premise that I'm only doing a couple of shows, right? So he ends up calling me in the control room. We all kind of go in the control room, and he just raves about how much he loves the way it sounds, and the background vocals sound great. He really likes the way I sing, and I sing with the band. Sounds great. The harmonies sound good. Everything sounds really good. He's really happy with the way it sounds, and and everybody kind of filters out except for me and him. So I'm like, it's like the end it's like a closing scene in The Sopranos. I'm gonna get whacked, right?
Yeah, right.
You know, I'm like, so he goes,
what a way to go.
Yeah, right. Well, that would have been a bad way to go, right? So he says, I've been aware of your playing for a long. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if this is exactly what he said, but from my recollection, he basically says, "Look, this is a long time coming. How does your wife feel about you going out playing with us?" And I said, "Well, what do you mean? How does she feel? I mean, she totally supports us. That's why she's my wife. You know, she's my, you know, my sidekick and my partner in crime." So he's like, "Well, you know, I'd like, if these shows go well, I'd like you to join the band. It's your gig if you want it." And I'm like, holy like, wow. I didn't expect that out of anywhere. And again, you don't say no to Lou. I was like, he goes, "Well, you could think about it." I'm like, no, I'm good. I want to do it. Right. He goes, "Well, think about it." I go, no, I'm in, man. I'm in.
I don't have to think about it.
Yeah. So we did, you know, we did the shows, and it was really weird because when he was doing that, he hadn't informed the other guitar player yet that he was done. And
that's how we used to work.
Yeah.
Right. You find the guy, then you no.
Yeah. So, you don't burn a bridge till you find a way across the river. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, right. You know, so I had to keep my mouth shut and not tell anybody anything. So I told my family, obviously my wife and my kids, and everybody was excited. And yeah, dude. And then I had to wait till he told him before I could say anything. But once the word got out, everybody was pretty happy. And the guy that, you know, that they let go was very complimentary. And I mean, he's a great guitar player too. It's just that Lou wanted to go in a different direction, and I'm glad he decided to go with my direction.
That's awesome.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. So
do you ever have that moment though that you're driving home from something like that and you're going, never asked them what the pay was?
I didn't ask.
No, none of us would. Nobody would. You'd be like, yes.
Okay.
And you're like,
no.
God, I hope I get paid for this. How do I?
Right.
Because the first word out of your wife's mouth could have been,
right.
Well,
yeah.
Are we going to make the same amount of money as we're making now?
Right.
I don't know.
Well, I will say this without saying exactly how much. At the time, it was the best paying gig that I had ever had at the point. And he was very generous, and he took care of me very well. So, you know, I was very appreciative. I mean, he obviously took care of me. So
that's awesome.
And one of the guys in that band, you and I, he's like a mutual friend. I don't know him extremely well, but Rob Mount.
Yeah, Rob's a drummer. Yeah,
yep.
He was a drummer for a long time. Yeah, Rob and I are good friends. We've known each other for a long time. Yeah.
Isn't this the guy that you've been trying to get on the show?
Yeah.
Oh, why haven't you got him on the show?
Well, we don't know how to get a hold of him. Apparently, he knows him through someone.
Yeah.
You know,
Like I saw him when he was in 50/50.
Yeah. I was in 50/50 for a little while.
Yeah.
For about 4 gigs.
Oh, really? Nice.
Yeah.
Well, you know, we
Lasted a while.
We tell this of every guest that comes on. Okay, well, we know what you're now tasked with.
Yeah.
We got you because Pete was tasked with something, so there you go.
Yeah.
We just got to keep going up the food chain.
Yep.
So yeah,
Right.
that's pretty cool. And then so you do the Lou Gramm thing for what? 4 years, 5 years, 6 years?
No, it was about, it was a close to 6 or 7 years, maybe more. I don't know. I can't remember because, I mean, I had done some stuff with him before officially. So, I mean, I was around him for probably a good 10 years. But when I officially got the gig, when I was officially in his band, it was probably like 6 or 7 years.
That's so cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
And you mentioned 404. I mean, that was my. I grew up. That was the album that broke.
That was Mike's soundtrack.
It was my soundtrack. It's like
1981.
Yeah,
and it was the song. It was the soundtrack that broke my father's
record player.
It broke the bread. If you play that fucking album one more time, I'm going to kill you. And I was like, okay, feeling down and dirty. Feeling kind of mean. There you go, Dad.
That's right. That was a great record, man. I mean, that was the record that kind of changed Foreigner's trajectory and I mean took them into the stratosphere.
Gosh,
yes. They weren't big before that, but that one just kind of.
Well, that was one of my first big concerts. I've been to a bunch of little stuff, but that one was at the Syracuse Carrier Dome, and Bryan Adams opened up for him, and that was the whole jukebox hero.
Sure.
The giant jukebox is on stage. Bryan Adams comes out, and Bryan Adams is the first concert singer that I ever heard. Just like, let's blow some dust out of this fucking balloon, and I was like, he said the F word. This is going to be great because I was young,
Yep.
And stood out after the show waiting, and Dennis Elliott came out, and I got the drumstick, and
nice.
So it was definitely a good experience. Just kind of waving to.
What's one of your favorite Foreigner songs to play?
Oh man, there's so many.
I know there is, but like, is there one that like really?
Well, I'll tell you a great story. So it ties into the Syracuse area. We did this balloon fest, and I think it was at one of Mary Jo's.
Jamesville
show.
Balloon Fest.
Right.
And we were doing sound check. And so the problem, which was a good problem to have playing with Lou, is that the material, the set list was so prime. I mean, every song was a good song.
Yeah,
sure.
And it was hard to figure out what song not to do. So at sound check, we would mess around with songs that we weren't playing. So we did the song off the first record called The Damage Is Done. And we were playing that at sound check one day, just for shits and giggles. And we didn't even think Lou was even there. And, we're going through the whole song, and then he came up, started singing it with us. And he sounded great. And that was probably one of my favorite songs. But the song in the set that we played, probably Jukebox Hero was a great song. I mean, Hot Blooded was a good song. I mean, Dirty White Boy was the first time. It's hard to pick. I mean, there's so many.
Yeah.
I guess it all depended on, it would swing. Like you'd get attached to one for a while and go, yeah, this is really cool, and then kind of move along. But they're all great. I mean, it's a hard question to answer.
Yeah, that was our go-to.
What one?
Hot Blooded, Dirty White Boy. Those were we went.
Yeah.
What was the one we did in the studio for our demo?
I think my favorite to play was probably Feels Like the First Time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly,
that's a great song.
But every one of them, it was like when we first started as a band years ago. I mean, I was a drummer for 30 years. I wasn't a front guy, and I decided to become a front guy because fucked up my shoulder the whole 9 years. And
Lou was a drummer.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
And Black Sheep before Foreigner, and he came out front. See, there you go. So you got something in common with him. See that?
There you go.
See, now I got a dear Lou.
Yeah.
You don't know me, but I know you.
That's right. You and I have a lot in common.
That's like a haiku you just did.
See? Yeah.
Yeah. Yep.
So he's we start going through our songs, and I've got my tablet with words and stuff, and then we're like, well, let's do these Foreigner songs. And they're like, wait a minute, you haven't had to look at the lyrics for any of them. I'm like, I know every fucking lyric of every Foreigner song because I grew up doing. It's like, well, unless we become a Foreigner tribute band,
exactly.
you got to start learning some of this other shit too. I was like, yeah, whatever. Yeah. So I think we ended up when we first came out, we did like 5 Foreigner songs.
Yeah.
In the first, it was almost to the point of embarrassing.
Like I said, I mean, I think my favorite 2 to play were that one.
Hot Blooded.
No. Dirty White Boy.
Oh yeah, I like
Dirty White Boy. Great songs. I mean, Mick Jones is such an underrated guitarist.
He is.
You know, after digging into his parts for the time I played with Lou and really, really getting to know his style. I mean, there's so many better guitar players, but when it comes to complete composition, songwriting, and his style, being a stylist, he's such a unique player. And I mean, the proof's in the pudding, all the songs they wrote. I mean, he's just you can be a great guitar player and never write a good song in your life, but he did both. He was a great guitar player and a great songwriter.
Do you find that the fact that you're playing with these, I mean, first with Lou Gramm and now the Guess Who, such iconic songs, do you find that it's hard for you to put your own little spin on things, or do you have to just really get in the mindset of the masterpiece that everybody knows?
That's a great question, because there's a lot of guys that would approach that and want to put their stamp on it. Mm-hmm. I'm the type of listener that I want to hear things a certain way, and not that I don't want to hear somebody else's interpretation of it, but such iconic songs that are the fabric of our culture and our growing up and our generation. I'm the type of guy where I don't mind hearing somebody maybe do a step outside a little bit, just gently, but I want to hear it the way I remember it. Right. Not that it has to be like the album exactly, because there's live versions and stuff like that, but as long as they stay true to it should sound like the way the song's recorded, I think.
Right. Yeah, I agree.
Sure. That's just my opinion. That's where I come from. So when I approach it, that's what I try to do. I try to really, it's impossible to become that person because you're not that person physically and in your complete embodiment, but you have to try to embrace that person's style and get into that thing to be convincing enough to be able to get the opportunity to do it with the group. And then secondly, probably more important than the first thing, is to keep the gig,
Right.
It's, there's a lot of people that will say, they don't sound like them. There's some people who go, holy crap, I can't tell the difference. In the case of Foreigner, you go see Foreigner right now without Lou or without Mick, and
Correct.
Nobody knows the difference.
Right.
And nobody cares. There's some people that do, they want to fight the good fight.
Yeah.
And, I get that. I respect that. I mean, I'm a big Journey fan. I love Neil Schon. I love Steve Perry, but I think Arnell's amazing.
Yeah.
I think everyone is, and I'd rather have some version of the band accurately representing the music than no version of the band and us never hearing it again.
Right.
For whatever reason. So.
And Jeff and I have had conversations between ourselves and between guests that say, at what point, when you have somebody like Foreigner that's out, and there are really no original members still on stage at points, what is it then? Is it still Foreigner? Is it a variation of? Is it? Do you look at it as?
Is it like a tribute band? Do you look at it as
I mean, you don't want to say that, but you almost kind of wonder.
That's what I'm saying.
Beauty is in the eye of the beholder. And what it really comes down to, it's a brand.
Yes.
And I recently, I don't know if I read or somebody was telling me this, so the band Frankie Goes to Hollywood. Relax, don't do it.
Yeah.
It's a franchise now. There's literally, I think, and I could be wrong, 3 versions of this band that are on the globe as we speak, performing, and no original members in any of them.
Right.
So the people who founded the band just basically are the chairman of the board. They're sitting back and they put their work in. Their money's making money for them. I mean, it'd be no different than an investor. who is trying to create passive income and sit home, buy a bunch of rental property, and not have to go work a day job, killing themselves. They got their money, making money for them, and it's an investment. So these pioneers of these bands, these music, they've done all the legwork, and now they've gotten to an age where they're retiring, and in the the pedestrian world, if you want to call it, the everyday Joe worker, they go to work, they work their 25, 30 years, they get their Social Security, they get their pension, and they cruise off. It's the same thing. It's like these musicians, they've worked the job. Now they're collecting their pension, they're staying home, and they're collecting the fruits of their labors. God bless them. If that's the decision they want to make, beautiful. Some people disagree with that. I mean, who am I to judge either way? I mean, I think if that's what they want to do, that's their prerogative.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, you could say that about even Judas Priest. Well,
actually, if you think about it, the only original member left in Judas Priest, honestly, is the bass player.
Right. But you still have Rob Halford doing stuff.
Right.
On his own, the same songs.
Yeah.
So which version is which? Who can claim what? So, like you said, I mean, it becomes an institution. And I think where even more relevant to the conversation is, now you're playing with the Guess Who. They're such an iconic brand that's gone back, not just our generation, but now you've had to learn songs even before you, and get into like I was saying, that's where I was leading with the mindset of, okay, this song was written in the 60s, in the early 70s, and the world was a completely different place. Technology was different.
Huge.
Guitars were different.
Totally.
There wasn't the effects pedals that they have now. You have to go into it raw, or as rudimentary as you can to kind of hold true to that sound. And does there come a point in time where you're like, I like the newer stuff, or do you sit back and go, fucking hey, man, this is the fabric of our music came from these roots. Mm-hmm. And I didn't even realize when I came out to see you guys in Oswego, I started hearing songs. I'm like, okay, I knew a lot of them, but I didn't realize this one was one of theirs or that one was one of theirs. I was like, holy shit.
That's the beauty of it.
And the age gap of the listener and viewers that were out there, there was everybody from teens dancing around having a good time to mom to grandma to maybe even great grandma to some of these kids. That's like, and they're all just having a great time. I'm like, what a fucking great gig.
That's the most important thing. Are people having a good time?
Yeah.
That's really the most important thing. All the other stuff is minutia.
Yeah.
That just makes your eyes water. It's, you can get and split hairs and, and do all that stuff. And people love to do that. That kind of is what's happening in society now today anyways, with just everyday stuff. Right. Everybody's so offended by everything. But music is supposed to bring us all together and make us have a good time. Who cares how old you are? Who cares who wrote the song? Who cares who's in the band?
Right.
You're listening to music. You're enjoying yourself.
Yes.
Now, just to speak to a point you made a minute ago, we were talking about the Foreigner thing. Mick Jones was the guitar player through Foreigner, so I had to learn Mick Jones style. The Guess Who's had they've had so many member changes. They've had so many different guitar players, and they've had so many successful versions of the band that have iconic songs that now I have to dig in and learn several different players' styles. Mm-hmm. So that's another challenge. I embrace that. I like that because to me it's a challenge. And if I can do it convincingly, and then the outcome is what you said, generations of people all having a good time, all enjoying themselves. It's like a time machine back to a time and place where the music is affecting them to the point where they're remembering being in the backseat of a car or getting their first kiss, their first dance. I remember one of my early shows playing with the Guess Who. It was down in New Orleans. We played These Eyes. Okay.
Yep.
I didn't write the song. I didn't record the song. I'd be stupid to sit here and pretend that was the case, because anybody with half a brain would realize I'm too young.
Right.
But I'm playing a song that's iconic. And there was an older couple in the VIP section, and they were dancing with each other, and they were so intense and intent with each other. And it was like, holy shit, that's freaking amazing. Yeah. They're time traveling, maybe back to their wedding, back to when they met, or whatever. And to be able to have the power to do that, regardless if I wrote the song or recorded the song or not, that doesn't matter. No. I'm delivering that with my bandmates to somebody, and they're having a good time. Yeah. That's the most important thing, is to have a good time. Everybody else has got to just relax.
Yeah, man.
Who cares?
Listen, Frankie says relax.
If it's the original band or not.
I mean, Frankie says relax, so
he does.
You better.
When you want to come.
Hey now.
I mean, come to the show. Hey. What the hell did you think I meant? Come on now. I'm going to say this.
I knew exactly what you didn't mean.
And I know, I know you being on the show right now is not going to dictate why I'm saying this. You seem the part. Not everybody could do what you're doing and have the enthusiasm that you're having doing what you're doing. You could get some prima donnas up there that are like, I don't give a shit who was in there before. I'm playing these guys my way. And you're like, no, that ruins it. Don't be a dick.
Totally ruins it.
You know? And
you know what? No slight here at all, but bless your heart for doing it.
Yeah. Go bless yourself. Yes.
Thank you.
You know,
Thank you so much.
No, I mean, seriously,
that's heart right now.
Yeah, I mean, seriously, that you know, that speaks volumes.
Yeah, it does.
I appreciate that. And, look, it sounds corny and cliche, but I'm playing the guitar and making a living and playing great songs for great bands that are part of music history. Mm-hmm. Who's complaining, man? I'm lucky. It's better than digging a ditch.
Who would be that stupid?
Digging a ditch, because if I was digging a ditch, it'd be the best damn ditch you've ever seen in your life. But let me tell you something. I'm very appreciative for where I am right now. I don't take it for granted for 1 minute.
You know, our mutual friend, Mary Jo, and I said to her, I'm going to mention you on the show today. She goes, go ahead. So Mary Jo Splain, I hope you're listening. She called it that you're one of a kind guy. You know,
you're so sweet. I love her.
And she also gave huge props to your wife as well.
Yeah,
because as you mentioned, you're a father, you're a husband. Yeah. At this point, not everybody unless you've been doing it the whole time, now you say, hey, I got this Lou Gramm thing, and then if she's happy and whatnot,
right?
But now another revival of your touring and not being home, and I think the people we have in our lives that put up with it, should always get that high five that
absolutely
that they don't always get.
And to put an exclamation point on that, Gary Peterson, the drummer for the Guess Who, the original drummer for the Guess Who, who's been in the band from the beginning, who's been playing drums for 75 years, who's 78 now.
Wow.
So do that math. He started playing when he was young, very young.
Very young.
So
bless his heart.
He often references our families are the ones that sacrifice the most. They're the ones that don't get us for holidays, birthdays, funerals, weddings, vacations. They're the ones that really deserve the accolades, because they're the ones that are putting up with the absence, But it's no different than if you're a district salesman for the Gap or whatever, or a pharmaceuticals. You're traveling for your job. It's the same thing. It's no different. It's just a different aspect. That's all.
I'm so glad you said that, because I was about to say, in any of the big corporate gigs I've had in life, we always tried to. It's that we're at the holiday time. So if there's going to be a holiday year-end party, you better make sure that you cater to the family members and let them realize we as business owners or managers or directors, we know that you're going through the same kind of sacrifices as your wife or your husband or your son or whatever. That you suffer in your own silence that you would, just like anybody. So
absolutely.
And I don't think we, even on this show, have acknowledged as much as we could. We had Randy Wooten on yesterday from the. He's a program musical director for the Blue Man Group, Boston, and he's been with them for 20 years. Right. No, 14 years.
13.
You got to correct me.
Yeah,
14 now. But he's not married.
Right.
So if it was easier for him to go on an international tour hitting 75 countries or whatever.
Yeah.
But the way you guys are gearing up and the way that things are coming out, who knows? You know, where's the ride going to take you? You know, and you're not just a studio musician guy touring with them like so many other friends of ours and stuff that, you play with them, you tour with them, but when the video's cut, I didn't see you in that video, you know, or that was you behind the tree. No, you're up front and riding in the vet, man. I mean, you know, you're right there, you know, yucking it up. So.
Yeah. No, I'm it's great. I mean, I really feel fortunate to, you know, to be a part of these bands. You know, a friend of mine called me when the new record came out, the new Guess Who record came out, and he was like, dude, you're like a part of like history, rock and roll history.
Yeah.
And I'm like, and he's a musician too. And I'm like, what do you mean? He goes, dude, it's the Guess Who. The Guess Who's been around forever. This is just another extension of that. I don't live in that mindset. So for me to wrap my head around that is I don't see it that way. I just see it as I'm working. I'm having a great time. I'm doing something that's enhancing other people and making people smile. And they're leaving there going, God, that was a great show. God, those guys, man, the band was great. You know, the guitar playing was good. The drumming, everything was, you know, they leave there feeling good about it. That's just, you know, I think that's the moral to life that I'm learning as the older I get, is that you come here and you try to leave the place just a little bit better.
Yeah.
For the taking. So, you know, it's really a blessing and an honor to be able to do this in any capacity, you know.
We say that about this. I mean, we've been musicians our whole lives, and obviously have not had a tenth of the experience or fame or whatnot that some of our guests have.
We haven't?
Right.
Oh, depends on who you ask. I'm the most important person I've ever met. Just ask me. But in all truth,
I was thinking this. I'm like, where's he going with this? Because he's the more important person I've met tonight.
Yeah, exactly.
There you go.
But I look at it like we do this not for any other reason than to put the smiles on the faces of the people that listen to the show.
Yeah.
Whether there's 2 people or 2,000 or 200,000. I mean, as long as one person's smiling afterwards, and I've had so many people come up to me and say, I am learning so much about so many different musicians that I never, whether it's local or national, I never knew that about blah, blah, blah. And it's when that happens to me, I'm like, there it is, you know, and we mentioned to Carl Kennedy, we mentioned to Jason Bittner.
Ooh, I love Carl. He's a great
Carl's
guy.
a great guy.
Carl's a great guy.
Ballbuster. He is.
Ballbuster.
Oh, big Ballbuster.
Which I truly appreciated.
Yeah, but you know what? He's got a resume.
Oh God,
you know, and as people know from the show, I mean, Anthrax and Overkill and everything.
Yeah.
But we were telling him that I was in Florida, and I've told the show before, but I figure I'll tell you. I'm down in Florida.
Michael don't care.
Yeah, he's gonna get a kick out of this. You shut the
Just kidding.
Shut the fuck up.
Hey, God
sorry.
Swore.
No, that was him. That was him.
Jibu.
So we're down and we're playing mini golf, and we got these guys behind us. Long story short, they're from Alberta, Canada. They're 12 miles from the Arctic Circle.
Wow.
Fast forward through digging through, talking about this and that. They're down there for that
70 tons of metal tour.
70 tons of metal tour, which is the cruise ship.
I'm sorry, 70,000 tons of metal.
Yeah, so the cruise ship with all the heavy bands. And I say, geez, we just interviewed Jason Bittner from Overkill and also Shadow Falls. And they're like, holy shit, that's one of the reasons we went on this cruise, to see that guy.
Yep.
And he said, what's the name of your podcast? And I said, The Good, the Band, and the Ugly. And he says, I've heard that. And I said, you're full of shit. You have not heard of this. And he goes, no, really. And he opens his phone and he turns it around.
Show your podcast.
And Spotify most recently played The Good, the Band, and the Ugly. And I was like,
awesome.
Yep.
I was like, holy.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah. And their town is 300 and some odd people.
Right.
It's like
They have no one
They
there.
have nothing to do up there, but
They all get together for Thanksgiving. You know?
Yeah.
Good on you guys. Good for you guys.
But that to us, it's like,
Yeah, that's.
I don't care what the numbers say on
No.
on Spotify's count. I
Yeah.
mean, a lot of the Spotify stuff is from out of country.
Yes.
But I'm like, that just made every bit of this worth it.
Yep.
You know, and
There you go.
and so for them, I text Jason and I'm like, these guys are gonna be on the cruise and hook them up. You know, and he did. You know, he helped them
Yep.
out. So, you know,
That's awesome.
yeah, that's why we do this. Getting back to
Do it
if
for
we
the right reasons. If
yeah.
you do it for the right reasons, the rewards shall come, is what I've been told. and
Yeah.
taught.
yeah, I mean, it's,
Well, it sounds like you've been rewarded.
yeah, you have. But you know what?
Honestly, I
and
mean,
what you're doing is rewarding everybody
is.
else too. So
Thank you very much. I appreciate that.
Yeah,
Nice
we-
to hear.
so now's the uncomfortable part.
Yep. Extremely
Okay.
uncomfortable.
I want to know the biggest blunder, blooper, or goof up. And you said one happened recently.
Yeah, one happened recently. Yeah.
Okay, so you could tell 1, 2, 5, 10. I
It
don't
don't
care what you
matter.
do. It don't matter
So-
to me.
I'll tell you. I'll do two. I think there's two. The recent one and the last one that happened. So
Okay.
I don't know if you've noticed, if you peruse my socials, but for a while there, I was doing these GoPro guitar cam things where I put it.
Yeah, love
And
that.
you know, and
Exactly.
it's funny because I was just doing it just for fun, and so I think it was Penns Peak, Jim Thorpe, PA. There's a venue there, mid-sized venue. And I was playing with Lou, and in the middle of the set, there'd be a drum solo. So I got this GoPro camera on. I'm recording the show, and I got to take a leak. And I'm like, oh God, you know, when if you don't go to the bathroom at the top of the show, you're pretty much stuck on stage, unless you got a little area in the back with a bucket or something. So the drummer launches into his drum solo, and I'm like, I gotta go. So my tech opens the door into the back of the venue. I got the GoPro on, right? So I'm going to the bath. Got to weave through this. Where's the bathroom? I got in-ears on. I can't hear. All I hear is it was Rob Mount playing drums. By the way.
Okay.
And it was like thunder, you know, in my ears.
Yes.
And so I finally made it to the bathroom with my guitar on. I got the guitar slid to the side, you know, and I got the GoPro going.
Uh-oh.
Right?
Uh-oh.
So I get disoriented in the back area, and now I'm like, how do I get back to the stage? And I'm starting to hear the drum solo wind up. I know kind of what the routine he does all the time is pretty much set. And I'm like, I got to get back. I'm turning right. I'm turning left. Total Spinal Tap moment.
I was
don't
just
know-
going to say
Yeah, right,
Spinal Tap.
right.
Damn it.
I end up in this kitchen area where they're doing some banquet on the other part of the venue. And I'm, where's the stage? And you're like, you know, there's this.
No
I'm
hablo
like,
inglés.
So the drums solo's wrapping up. I get to the door, and there's a security guard standing there, and the door's locked. And I go, I got to get through there. He goes, you don't have a laminate. And I'm like, dude,
I have a
I
guitar.
got a guitar on.
Hello.
I got like everything, and this whole thing's documented on the GoPro because the GoPro's recording everything. And I'm arguing with the guy. The guy won't let me through, right? So he's like being a total hard ass, which is good because he should do that. But I mean, I don't know how many people are going to break into a show with a guitar looking like a guy who's supposed to be on stage. So anyways, my tech opens the door because he's like, wants to know where I am just at the right time. And I ended up getting in, and it was like, where the fuck were you? And I'm like, dude, you have no idea. And I got right back on stage just in time, but it's all documented, and it's pretty funny. It's total Spinal Tap moment.
You got to send us the link just
Oh
so
my
we
God,
can watch it.
please.
I never posted it. I have it.
Yeah.
but
I know you
never-
have it. So
Probably did at some
right.
point.
Yeah.
It could be a blooper. Yeah, exactly. It was funnier than shit. And we watched it later at the hotel. We were pissing our pants. And I mean, I'm pleading with the guy going, you have to let me back on there because I got to go up there. And if I don't show up, I'm done. They're going to be like, you know, so anyways. the moral
Well,
of
Michael
the story-
quit.
that would go viral like that. And
It
just
would.
call it, Where's Your Laminate?
Right.
Dude,
Where's your laminate?
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's your laminate?
where's your laminate?
I know. And moral to that story is make sure you go to the bathroom before you step on stage.
And make
or
sure
don't
your
drink
laminate
much
is
water.
hanging off you somewhere.
Yeah, hooked to your depends.
I know. That always bugged me seeing guys play with laminates on them. It's like, okay, we know you're in the band. You don't need a laminate to be on
Right.
stage.
Yeah, well.
That's neither here nor there. So the
Wait.
other one, it just happened recently, and it's just never happened to me in my entire career. So with the Guess Who, we do this song called "Shakin' All Over," which is a Chad Allen and the Expression song from early Guess Who, one of their first hits.
Right.
And so at the end of the song, we kind of extend it and we do like individual solos.
So good.
And you saw the solo, right?
I saw it. So good.
I do mine. Derek does his. We come back. We do this duel, and it's really cool. Real high point of the show. And right at the end of the solo, when he and I are dueling, we go back to the drums. We get on the drum riser, and we kind of do this showmanship and stuff like that to kind of bring the crowd to a climax, if you will. So, and I've been in the band since 2021 now, so I've done a considerable amount of shows, and I've done the same thing every single time. I kind of run back and I hop up on the riser. Well, this particular time, my hop caught the edge of the riser, and I went face first into the drums on top of my guitar.
You shut
Literally,
up.
the guitar flips over and I land, and I try to catch myself. Both my shins catch the metal edges of the drum riser. Oh, for sure. I ripped them open, right? So our keyboard player at the time said to me, he goes, dude, I just watched that train wreck in slow motion and thought, what? How is he going to come back to life here? And I just try not to smash my face on all the kick drum hardware.
Yeah.
I was just like, God. And I got back up and got right back into the song and didn't miss a beat. I literally, from the time it took me to fall and get up, I was right back into playing the song. And the keyboard player goes, I don't know how you did it, man, but you didn't miss a beat. I was so embarrassed. I was so humiliated. I thought for sure, what happens? Everyone's got their fucking phone and their videotape. And I thought for sure, I'm going to go back to my hotel room and it's going to be all over YouTube. It's going to be on Blabber. It's going to be all, not to give myself credit, but it's kind of funny when you see somebody bite the dust, right? Keith Richards falling on the runway, falls down, face first, gets up, walks back to by the drummer out on the Eagle ramp and goes, Keith Richards. Me, I was a little more sensitive about it. And it was pretty spectacular from what I heard. Nobody caught it on video, or nobody's divulged if they have it.
We need
so
to
if
put
you're
the
listening and you have the footage, I would like to see it because I probably could do something in that fall better. I'd like to improve on it.
Try to improve on
Or figure out why I fell.
I know.
In fact, I want to see it. I want to see it in slow motion. So if you can send it to me, I'll slow it down.
It wasn't slow motion to me. I tell you that much.
No. The agony of defeat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Jeff is looking at me because
the reason I was pointing at him during that entire story because he and I were playing a show once, and someone over here.
I just told Mary Jo this
you?
story. I just literally we were talking about bloopers and go ahead, asshole.
And he decides that the place we were playing it was like a substage and then too high up. Like I was on one. And our other guitar player was on the other.
Which clearly you should have stepped up on something to get up on the second.
On it. And there wasn't. There was a pretty sizable gap between the two.
Yeah. And I'm fat.
So he tries to hop up on it, and his foot clips the edge of that riser. He somersaults. I've never seen a fat guy somersault in my life.
You're a dick.
But he somersaults, stands up,
like a weeble.
Continues to sing.
Yeah. Didn't miss a note.
Didn't miss a thing.
You're a mean one, Mr. Halford.
Yep.
I just stood right up.
His scorecards,
9.5.
Right, 9.5.
That's right. You're a dick.
Awesome.
Wow. Yeah, I see what you did there.
And that shit happens in slow motion when it's happening to you.
Yes.
You're like literally, you're just like.
Oh yeah. I hope nobody's seeing this.
Right.
But I get the same thing. I got
the eye right on.
My legs were bad. I was bleeding profusely.
After the show, he goes, "Dude, look!"
I I went behind a drum kit, grabbed some gaff tape, and just put it over the wound. And I'm like, "Well, this is on here till it heals completely." And I encompassed this gorilla tape into my leg for life because I'm not pulling it off. And it stopped the bleeding.
Yeah.
I was lucky. I thought for sure my shins were bleeding, but like when I lifted my pants later, I was unscathed. I didn't get hurt.
Really?
And I thought I cracked the heel of my guitar.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm lucky. I didn't lucky because I landed. I used the guitar to brace my fall.
Oof.
And I'm lucky I didn't snap the neck on it.
Yeah, that is no lie.
Your tour manager must have been going, insurance call. Nope. Dodge that bullet.
Dodge the bullet.
Jesus. It still bothers
me. And said it was my fault.
Yeah. Shouldn't have jumped up there. You signed it. You signed this right here. You said you wouldn't jump. You would not jump. It's not enough.
No jumping.
So as a result, since then, I always run to the riser, stop, take a really careful step up there because I don't trust myself now. It happened once. So,
right.
you know, things happen in threes, right? They say
They do.
What was the look on the best? I would have loved to just seen the drummer's face going, this mother effer is about to come
they're all
plowing.
they're all like,
He's going to come plowing through my kit.
like, what the fuck?
The whole show's going to stop
Great.
right now.
He's coming over Tom number 2. Thank God.
Right.
Well, I guess that beats Just Joe's projectile vomiting
Oh God, yeah.
right during,
Yeah, for sure.
bad pizza in
think
Europe,
this-
and he said he's just like went to go belt some big note, and it was like, he was like, oh God, that's bad.
Yep.
Luckily,
was
he was Joe Altier from Brand New Sin at the time, and he was facing stage right.
He was.
Otherwise, the whole front
It
row
would've
would
been
have
really bad.
Would have been a Gallagher moment.
Ah.
Food poisoning when you're on the road is no joke, man.
Yeah.
That's the worst, being sick. I mean, then having to do a show not feeling good. Oh man, that's the worst.
Yeah,
I can imagine.
I can't imagine. Holy shit! Especially if you're out
Well,
of
actually,
country.
You don't want to imagine.
No, but if you're out of country, then you're really
That's
fucked.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because it's like, don't drink the water. What do? I got to drink the water. No,
No.
Right.
I'll just die. Thank
Yep.
you. So, yeah, your turn,
Yeah.
Jeff.
So, and like we said before we even started recording this, we hate the word. I do especially, but like,
Fuck.
no, fanboy.
Oh, fanboy. The other F word.
Fanboy.
The other F word. So
I don't
and
hate
your-
that word. I get accused of that all the time.
And your
Fanboy.
years of, well, actually, so do I from him, but that's okay.
Well, because you make it obvious. I mean,
Sometimes
Jesus,
I do.
those poor girls from Fens of Rock. I was like, Jeff, please leave them alone. Stop.
Tried.
They get it. Can I buy you a drink? They're like, yeah.
I bought the one a beer.
I know
she
you
wanted
did.
one.
Yeah.
So I'm like, all right, come here.
Yeah. Your wife had laser eyes that night.
I know.
Wow, even being married, you did that.
Oh
Wow.
yeah, he had no shame on that night.
Not that night.
Stunt man there. Whoa.
Yeah, no, they're a group of very handsome women. Let's just put it that way. Very attractive.
Handsome.
What am I supposed to do? They're hot, and then all of a sudden,
Right.
wake up at the burning bed. No thanks, you don't want to do that. Go ahead.
So anyway, through your years of touring and stuff, like who have you met that you were totally holy
Not that he's
shit.
been touring with legends.
I know exactly.
Well, I think, because of some of the people I've toured with have opened up opportunities to meet some of the people that I revered. And it's funny because a lot of those people revered some of the people I've been playing with. So it's kind of a cool moment to see me fanboying somebody I'm playing for. It's kind of a cool,
Right.
It creates access that would not normally happen. I wouldn't have to ask to buy them a drink with my wife staring at, but I digress. Sorry.
It's okay.
Like
Not that I
this
know
guy.
anybody that happened to. So
Who'd be that dumb?
This guy.
I think the coolest for me, I mentioned earlier being a big Journey fan.
Yep.
We did some shows with Journey, and getting to meet Neil Schon, being one of my favorite guitar players.
Oh, wow.
That was kind of cool.
Yeah.
And having like access that normally wouldn't be like going to a signing or a meet and greet or whatever. It's actually being in the arena as an artist.
Mm-hmm.
That was kind of cool for me. It was very surreal. Meeting Paul Rodgers, probably him, and I can't. It's been so many.
Wipe
really
the drool.
cool.
I know.
What's that?
I said to Jeff, wipe the drool. Paul
no,
Rodgers.
Yeah, no, it's really cool.
I could listen to Paul Rodgers sing the phone book.
Yeah,
You know.
yeah, he's amazing, and he's such a sweetheart. Such a sweetheart.
That's cool.
We've done several shows with them, and it's always cool to see see him come out and hang out on the side stage.
Does it get
the biggest
nerve-wracking for
fanboy-
something like that, Lo? Does it get nerve-wracking like that for all right, Paul Rodgers is standing side stage while you're playing?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you try not to think about it because you don't want to fuck up when they're watching you, but it's kind of surreal. The first time we played with Journey, being a big Journey fan, I mean, we're playing in an arena, and I look over to my left, and there's all the guys in Journey standing watching the set. I mean, they're there to watch Lou, because they're all friends with Lou.
Sure.
And toured with Lou. But the fact that they're all watching is kind of get kind of a kick out of it. Like usually it's me on the side of the stage, watching my heroes, and now these guys are checking us play. And then they exchange pleasantries and stuff, and then you get to hang out with them and talk to them at a different capacity, which is always cool. Becoming friends with these people is even more of a bonus.
Yeah.
For sure.
Hoping they call you next.
That'd be cool, huh? I mean,
just for a sit-in, for a sit-in,
Right. I mean, but like the guy that's playing with Paul now has been playing with him for a while. Howard Leese from Heart, the original guitar player from Heart. I mean, he and I became friends as a result of doing those shows together, and that's kind of a cool thing that you meet the guys you revere, that you grew up listening to, and then now you're friends with them. You exchange phone numbers, you get together, and you have lunch, or you invite them over for a holiday get together. And now that's really the bonus, is when you can meet your heroes, and A, they're cool, and B, you become friends with them.
Yeah.
And I don't want to give anybody the impression that I have Paul Rodgers' phone number and that I am friends with him to the point where I could call him up. I'm sure that if I saw him tomorrow, he'd have to be reminded who I was, because he probably doesn't remember. Right. But he was, the times that I have been around him and have met him, he's been extremely pleasant and very cordial, and I appreciate that.
Has anybody?
Those come to mind. Alice Cooper.
Oh, nice.
Finally meeting Alice Cooper after being in a
tribute band.
Clone band.
Yeah, very cool. Yeah, there's so many. I mean, it's just really cool. It's really cool. But I fan out. I totally. But I try to compose myself, so I'm not fanning out. And I've learned now to go, oh, I see somebody, where I used to run up and go, oh my God, oh my God, oh my God. Now I just kind of go, okay, if it happens, it happens. If it doesn't, it doesn't,
Right.
I'll tell you a great story. I was playing with Lou one time. We were rehearsing it out in LA at Studio City at Mates. And it was around the time that Velvet Revolver was putting their band together. They were auditioning singers.
Oh, okay.
And in the same area, there was several different notable projects or bands playing. And so we were playing with Lou, and we took a break, we went outside, and Taylor Hawkins, who, God rest his soul, spotted Lou and ran from across the parking lot, and talk about fanboy, right up to Lou. Oh my God, oh my God, oh my God, you're the jukebox hero. I had 4 cassette, I played it, didn't even make noise anymore. And it was like, talk about fanboy, man. That guy didn't hold back. And I was like, I love this guy. He's so into it. So, I think fanboy comes in many, many different levels, many different capacities. And I don't think you should feel bad about, being a fanboy. I definitely wear the fanboy badge pretty
proudly.
Yeah.
Pretty proud.
And I bust Jeff's balls, but I'm just as bad. My God. I mean, it's like the 7 degrees of bacon or whatever.
Right.
For us, I mean, having someone like yourself who's had, I guess we kind of live vicariously through these stories, and then we sit back and we're like, yeah, I know someone that knows Lou Gramm.
Right.
So no matter how many times we're trying to get him on this show,
Yeah, but now I know somebody who knows Paul Rodgers.
Exactly.
Well, like I said,
just saying.
I wouldn't go as far as wearing that badge, saying, I'm going to call for, if I call him right now, I wouldn't even ask my phone call. So, but you said 7 degrees of Kevin Bacon. I've learned that just in life in general, 7 degrees is such an exaggerated number. We're only like 1 or 2 degrees away from most people. It's pretty wild.
It is cool. I mean, well, especially depending on who you know. And we've mentioned her name earlier, but Mary Jo, who doesn't even think it, but she's going to be on the show coming up here.
She does everybody.
She does, and it's not even like, it's just, oh yeah, I can call him. I'm like, wow.
Well, you don't know who that knows. I mean, sometimes you don't know. Like with Mary Jo, she could call up, the guys in Shinedown,
right?
Ace Frehley, or anybody they toured with, and you just don't know that you're one phone call away or one connection away from somebody that you want to get on your show. So.
Yeah, We love every aspect of every guest that we've had because everybody brings just that one element that people want to hear. Yeah. You know, so we've told our guests before, you know, that just because we ask if you know somebody that might want to be on the show, we're not looking at it as stepping upward. We're looking at it as it's a lateral move and any content. Yeah. Because it's, to me, my whole life has been about music. Yeah. You know, my corporate gigs that have allowed me to do the music, and Jeff working your ass off during the week allows us to do the stuff and not have to worry about it. And
yeah, absolutely.
You know, my fanboy moment is just being able to do this and having great people like yourself on the show. So, you know,
and, right back at you guys.
And I know I was a total pain in your balls that night trying to hook up the swing. I was like, still driving around, can't find a spot. And then afterwards, I'm like, Mike, you dick. Right. You must have sent him 30 fucking emails just about parking. And he's probably going, I don't care. No, damn you, Peter. Right.
Thanks, Pete.
Not at all. I didn't even give it a second thought, to be quite honest with you. I wanted to make sure that we connected because, you know, we made the connection, you know, verbally, and then I wanted to put the face with the name and then, you know, close the deal. So
Jeff was so pissed at me when you had said, well, you know, we're playing here and then we're going down to Scranton. And I'm like, Scranton's only a couple hours away. Maybe we should drive down. And he's like, well, let's go. And I'm like, I can't. I got to do this gig. And he's like, you're a dick.
Yeah.
So yeah, we would love to come down and just
hang out,
be those guys on the side stage watching the magic that you guys all do. It's just,
yes,
I was so thrilled by that show. I really was. And when you mentioned These Eyes, I grew up hearing my parents playing that and just had no idea that it was them. And, you know, my mother's like, I wish I would have known. I would have gone to that show. And I'm like, now, you know, it's just so cool.
Eddie's songs mean so much to so many people, and for different reasons. It's really cool to, you know, like I said earlier, it's really cool to be able to deliver that and help people get that experience.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Anything you've got coming up locally for us, or is it all Midwest, out West, out South?
Actually, next year there's a Rochester show at the end of May at the Kodak Theater. That's coming up. But I mean, the last couple of years we've been in New York a lot. Oswego, Binghamton, Buffalo a couple times. But I mean, you can always check out tour dates on theguesswho.com.
Yeah.
You know, like we talked about earlier, we touched on a little bit. We have a new record that came out June 30th. There's been a video and a single for each song. There's 8 songs on the record. We're doing a video to coincide with each single that we're releasing. And we're releasing singles every 6 to 8 weeks, depending on how good they're doing and the momentum they have. Our newest one just came out on the 17th of November. It's called Pursuit of No Regret. And the cool part about that video is we had this really cool concept that we wanted to include the fans in the video, because everyone's social media, and, you know, you see, like I see my kids, they jump on whatever TikTok or whatever it is, and they just do all these, you know, they dance, they video themselves dancing to all the music. So we thought, you know, the Guess Who's been around a long time, and a lot of our fans are experienced. I'll be polite by not offending their age, but I mean, you know, older than we are, and you know, there's a whole segment of a whole generation that has probably heard the music but is not putting the 2 and 2 together. So our goal is to try to move that demographic back 20 years and appeal to a younger audience. So what does that mean? I mean, if our average age is, you know, whatever, 50 to 70, we want to bring it back to, you know, 35 to 50.
Right.
Try to appeal to that demographic, very much like what Foreigner's done and Styx has done and other bands have done. And you know, one of the ways we did that is record this new record and have reinvented yet another aspect, another generation of the band. And we feel like this new record is a really cool record. So we wanted to include fans and a generation that would be inclined to do those type of videos. And we were surprised because not only did we get several submissions, which we weren't even sure we were going to get one. We were like, I don't know if we don't even know how to do this shit. We don't know how to explain how to do it, but we're asking people to do it for us. And we got young kids, teenagers, we got, middle-aged people, we got senior citizens. We had so many great videos, and we were able to include it. We work with this director, George Johnson, out of Fort Wayne, Indiana, and we presented him with our concept, and he was like, I think I know how to do this. I'm like, okay, so we're going to cultivate all the videos, and then we're going to hand them over to you, and then you'll select and figure out where to place them. And he put them in windows, he put them in signs. If you've seen the video, it's
kind of reversed. So like they're watching them through TV, but then on the opposite side, it's them watching them on the TV. It was a great freaking video. Love it. It's not an original concept. Other bands have done it. It's just that this band has never done it. And we get to get the existing fans excited, newer fans engaged, and then they start telling people about their experience and that, look, I'm in this video, you got to check it out. And people that wouldn't have normally looked at the song or listened to the song in the first place are going to discover the song, hopefully. So it's great marketing. Is it an original idea? No, but it's a stretch for the history of the Guess Who. So we did it, and it just came out, and we're so excited. We think it's a great video. We're really happy with the way it came out. The director did a good job. Everybody had fun, and so that's out right now, and that can be seen at our official Guess Who YouTube channel, which I think is the Guess Who TV or the Guess Who Official. I can't remember what it is, but if you go to our website, the website will direct you
you there.
Yes. And it's on our socials as well, our Facebook, our Instagram, our TikTok, our Twitter, and like Vic DiPotato says, your sister's ass, and it's on every. You know what I'm talking about, right? I do. I keep thinking about him every time I say that because he's hilarious. But anyways, you can catch it anywhere. And then our album is available on every streaming site. Plein d'Amour is the name of the album. That's French for full of love. Kind of parlaying the message of probably everybody's favorite band, the Beatles, the last song, the last words that were spoken on the last track. All you need is love. Mm-hmm. Love is all you need. That was kind of our message with this record. We're full of love. Plein d'Amour means full of love. And we're trying to convey that message in a world that is like majorly divided right now, unnecessarily. Yep. Music brings joy, music brings happiness, and if you can deliver the right message through your music, hopefully you can bring everybody together one by one and try to break down the bullshit that everyone's going through and bring everybody together. Because if you really think about it, I know I'm kind of jumping off here, but if you think about it, you go to a concert, right?
Oh, I know where you're going with this because I'm just.
You don't give a shit if the guy next to you is different color, different religion, different whatever, got different hairstyle. You're just rocking out. Everyone's having a good time. Kumbaya with your arms around each other. You don't care what their political affiliation is. You don't care, but you're just having a good time. Yeah. Because really, when it comes down to it, none of that really fucking matters.
Exactly.
Okay? What matters is being fucking nice, being a good human, being nice to people and enjoying each other. And music is frequency. Frequency brings good energy, and that's what we're trying to deliver with this album. And if you listen to this album, there's a concept throughout the whole thing, and that's what it really embodies. It embodies love and energy and positivity. And, if you haven't heard it yet, go check it out on any of our streaming sites. Check out our videos. Come to a show. I guarantee when you come to the show, if you're skeptical, if you have any hang-ups about whatever, you're going to leave the show going, holy shit, that was a good show. And wow, that was a really good band. And, I'm happy now. I'm not as grumpy as when I first came in, And on your way out, buy the record, buy a t-shirt, and, be nice to somebody. Pat somebody on the back. Quit being a dick.
There you go.
So when we come to see you.
When we come to see you in Rochester.
Well, remember one thing. When we go to see them play, you bring your guitar and wireless. I'm going to go with in-ears and a microphone, and we're going to stand by the back door, and we're going to be like, we got to get out there. We're part of the opening something.
But you got to have a laminate. They're going to say, where's your laminate?
Well, that's all right. We can come up with something.
I'll make one.
We still got the laminates from the last couple of shows.
God, you're right.
Yeah, I got them hanging up right there. There you go.
There you go.
I got a friend. We call him the embellisher. He can make one that says press.
So what if it says? So what if it says 2018?
But anyways,
Yeah, right.
I wanted to make sure that I talked about the record, the most important thing. And,
Yeah,
absolutely.
And I think that you whoever's listening, I think if you give it a shot and listen to it, you're not going to be disappointed. There's a lot of people, like Mike Portnoy from Dream Theater just posted somewhere that he heard the first track off the album called The King, and he was like, "Holy shit! Where did this come from?"
Right.
And I'm a huge Dream Theater fan. I'm a huge Mike Portnoy fan.
Same
and you
here.
know what? I'm flattered, man. Dude,
Yeah.
Mike, thank you. If you're listening, Mr. Portnoy, Mike Portnoy, thank you for listening to our song. Thank you for saying nice things about our song. So
Trust me.
Huge Dream Theater fan myself.
Yeah.
So.
Right?
Yes.
Well,
and I'm glad he's back with him.
Me too.
Yeah.
Honestly, because I don't want to go on that debate. So
Right.
Don't go there.
You know.
Just be happy he's back and
Exactly.
just carry on.
And don't care about any of the
Don't
bullshit.
care about any of the bullshit.
That's
I'm
right.
glad. I'm happy for him, and I'm happy for fans like us.
Yeah.
Right.
You know,
So,
everybody's been waiting for it for like 13 years, and
Yeah.
well,
They shouldn't have been out of the band in the first place, but people get a stick up their ass and whatever. That's their business. As long as they're back to start playing, that's good.
yes,
happy.
yes,
well, Michael, thank you so much
Thanks,
again
man.
for being on the show. We're glad that the Guess Who is still portraying love,
Yes.
unity, and happiness.
Yep.
The same message they had 40 years ago,
Right.
or more.
Right. Exactly.
Right.
So and it's good, and it's refreshing, and big shout out to the label for bringing it out.
Yep.
Yeah. Deco Entertainment.
Yeah, Deco is
Yes.
God bless. I mean, I've seen a lot of the stuff that's coming out on Deco, and that's our next attack.
It is.
We hopefully have some conversations with them and bringing some of the other artists that they're.
Yeah, well, you got to get them on because Bruce and Charlie are awesome, and Pete is a big part of that too.
Yeah.
Pete's a big part of getting us over to Deco, and Charlie being an Angel. I mean, if you're a fan of 70s music, man, I mean, Angel is incredible. So
Well, there's so many on that label that I had no idea, but
I know,
but even the Rods on there,
Yeah.
they've the Rods have got stuff on there. Carl Kennedy's on there, so
Yep.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, I'm like, wait a minute.
Yeah. When we interviewed
Why
him
am I
a
going
couple,
through these guys when I could? There's right here. He's
right?
on-
When we interviewed him a couple weeks ago, he said he was on that.
That's cool. That's good.
Were the Dictators on there too?
Yes.
The Dictators. Yeah. So we
I saw
had
Tiffany was on there.
I think you are correct.
The 80s star. Yeah.
Yeah.
Triumph.
Rick Emmett.
Rick Emmett has
Rick Emmett.
has
How
his
about that?
acoustic album on there now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's doing a whole new version of Magic Power. And it's like, I
Wicked.
listened to it. I was like, holy shit, this is so good.
Yeah, did
I
you
almost
see the,
cried.
Did you see the YouTube video of the Us Festival Triumph set?
Yes.
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 I was blown away. Like I turned it on and I'm like, I'm just going to watch a couple seconds of this, thinking I was just going to fade away.
Nope.
It was incredible.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They were firing on all cylinders.
Yes,
man.
they
Oh
were.
God, yes. That's Magic Power is my favorite song to sing
Yeah.
because nobody thinks I can do it, and then I
Correct.
do it. I'm like, fuck you.
Then he knocks it out of the
You sing
park.
that song?
Yeah.
Yes, he does.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Quite well, I might add.
What?
Hey, look at that.
It's the holiday season. I got to be nice.
Holy
Yeah,
shit.
he's been giving you shit this whole time, and you said you just fired back. See my little lecture there, my little dissertation about being nice. See,
Wow.
I love this guy.
All we're saying is give peace a chance.
That's
Jeff.
right.
That's right. Give peas a chance.
Did you say give pizza
Peas
a chance?
Pizza would be good too.
Okay.
You son of a. And we're back.
And we're back.
See. Michael, I hope you had fun
man.
doing this. We want to have you
Yeah.
back. We want to be,
Great.
did we just become best friends?
Are we gonna play ball in the garage?
I just wish I could have got a word in edgewise with you two. Man.
Oh, bullshit.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. God bless yourself or whatever it was. Bless your heart.
Bless your heart.
Go bless
Bless your
yourself.
heart.
Yeah.
As they say in Western New York in the Italian community, chiacchiaron.
Or
Awesome.
in Jeff's language, cavron, cavron. Yeah.
There you go.
Whatever.
That too, right?
There you
Yep.
go. Yeah.
Yep.
Give peace a chance.
Give
All right.
pizza a chance.
Give pizza a chance. Yes. Oh, that's your dick. Okay. Jeff may not
Michael.
be here the next time you're on the show. He may be dead.
I might.
But we're not going to talk about.
Gonna cut you.
We're not going to talk about.
Right.
Yeah.
See.
Oh yeah.
Jeff had he went on vacation.
He had an accident.
Yeah. I just.
The witness protection program.
He took 7 steps off a 3-step pier. That's all.
I missed the boat.
He missed the end of the dock.
Yep. I missed the end of the dock.
A rock and a pillowcase.
That's right.
Yep.
Michael, thanks again.
Dude, thank you so much for doing this.
We'll
We
have
really
you back
appreciate
on.
it.
For having me, you guys. I'm glad we finally made it happen, man.
Now you can
Yeah.
get that off your calendar.
Yeah. Well, I was kind of grumpy before I came on here, but you guys put a smile on my face. You made me laugh. I feel good now.
That's what we're here
Good.
for.
That's why we're here.
That's what we're here. Give us your address, and we'll send you a small. Your insurance will cover it.
Yeah. Yeah.
Consolation prize.
Just meet the deductible.
Yeah.
A case of go fuck yourself.
Oh, no. We got that from the last 3 guests.
Yeah, we did.
Yeah.
Yeah. Still there.
Your case overfloweth.
Yes.
Yeah, fucketh overfloweth.
That's right.
Yes. I'm speaking with a lift now. I don't know what happened.
Sounds like I'm speaking with a list.
Stop. We're going to offend somebody and
Yeah,
hurt
we're
their
gonna keep
feelings. Next thing you know, we're going to be on TV.
Blabbermouth headline.
TMZ. Yeah, give Peace a chance with guitar player from the Guess Who.
Right.
Showing true colors.
Oh, yeah, right.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised, but you know what? If they can't take a joke, bless their heart.
Make music great again.
Make music great again.
He's
Yes.
got a hat on. It said,
Yep.
I think that's what it stood for. I mean,
There you go.
That's right.
Oh,
Okay.
man.
I'll just get my flying V and play American Woman right in their face.
Oh, there you go.
see, next time you're playing for us. How about that?
That's right, buddy. That's
All
right.
All right, my friend.
Michael.
We will talk to you soon. Thank you so much for being on.
Thanks for having me.
Thank your wife for letting you do this tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's not even here. She went Christmas shopping with my daughter.
Oh, boy.
Oh,
Yeah, that'll put a dent.
Yeah, that's why there's a missing guitar.
that's right. It's at the pawn shop.
You're right. You know who used to play this guitar?
You're right.
Yeah.
Do you have any idea?
Oh, your husband? No, not him.
No.
Somebody better. Somebody way better.
Yeah, I know.
All right,
All right,
man.
you guys.
Michael.
All right, buddy.
Talk to you.
See you guys.
Thanks,
Thanks.
brother. Bye.
Bye-bye.
There you go, Jeff.
Oh, man.
We've had it.
That was
we've had
awesome.
the show of the day.
We have to.
Yeah.
Show of the week, the
Are we
show of the
still
month.
recording?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, we're going to say goodbye now.
We're
We're
gonna
going to
say
have the music, and
Now we're gonna say goodbye.
well, you're going to be there while we say goodbye.
Yeah.
The music's
hang out right there. Don't move.
I just know sometimes you stay on after you stop recording and then you're kind of wrapping up or whatever.
Yeah, sit right there.
Yeah, stay right there.
Stay right there.
You've listened to the good,
The band.
the ugly. I'm Big Papa,
And I'm Jeff.
and he's still Michael
He's still
Staertow.
Michael.
Bless his heart.
Bless his heart.
Bless his heart. We want to thank Auk Medical Supply, Sharky's Event Center, DJ Life's a Son of a Beach,
Good Nature Brewery, Uncle Jimmy's Live Local Music, The Print Shop Underground,
Snarky Productions,
and Toffee Break Toffee.
Toffee. 9 out of 10. Dennis recommends.
That's right.
You get that stuck in your teeth, and you can go and get them yanked out by them.
Yep.
Stick around next week. I'm sure you'll have
More
Well, we're not
fun.
going to have anybody this good, but
No.
eh,
Not even close.
I'm saying that because I'm still here.
he's still here.
Awesome. I love the fact that he's still here.
I do too. We can't get him to leave. God
That's
damn
okay.
it, tension whore.
Just hang out right there.
Don't you dare.
No.
All right, guys.
Hey, happy Thanksgiving, everybody.
Happy Thanksgiving. And we will talk to you
We'll
after
talk
the
to you
holidays.
next week.
I'm leaving.
Later. You stay right there.
Stay right there. Don't move.
Yeah.
We're fading to
Don't
black.
move. We're fading out.
Shut up.
Oh, he did leave.
He did leave. Son of a bitch.
Oh, well.
Recording stopped.